If the commitment of marriage looked like this for men, what would men do or think, or how would they connect themselves if the commitment of marriage was like this for men? So, what do I mean by like this? So, historically, men, because of the desire to carry on the legacy, procreate, and just for the love of women, have approached fathers. We're going back in times. This is not modern times. Would approach a father and say, I want to marry your daughter. And when a man did that, what that translated was simply now was that he assigned himself as a carer and provider for that woman. He was a carer and provider. He had to make sure she was good, and oftentimes her job was to stay home and take care of the home. And a lot of men worked hard, and women were not stupid. They married into men who were well to do. Now, of course, there's men who just live average lives, but nonetheless, she still had the freedom of time being at home. She can cultivate other things before she was pregnant or after she was pregnant, but nonetheless, she was at home. So, the point I'm trying to make is this: in modern times, women have married men, separated from the men, okay, divorced them, and gotten access to his um, wealth, his um, whatever it is, assets, whether it's a home, cars, his retirement fund, everything. Just by that man signing a piece of paper that now you're my woman, by him making that claim to a stranger that he knew not prior and said, you're my woman, that has translated to him giving up his wealth and his assets. If men knew, and let me just add that most of the women, even though they've been able to extract certain resources from men in this manner, they've enjoyed the privilege of being out there, enjoying their youthfulness and prime. They've been deed down heavily, especially if she's good looking, because we men, unfortunately, we go for attractive looking women. It's just in us to go for something that looks pleasant to the eyes. So she's been deed down by different guys, and oftentimes when they're young, they're naive. They're doing it in the club, they're doing it in the car, they're doing it everywhere, and so forth. And then at the end of all that nonsense that she's done, all those shenanigans, she's now then met you, and you're like, I'm gonna sign this piece of paper. You're my woman. I'm gonna take care of you. I'll be your sole provider. I'll give you the word. And even if you do that, there's no guarantee that she may not walk back to that life that she was used to. And even then, when she's in that union that you signed out for, taking seriously, giving up your resources, which represents your livelihood, your life. When you're earning that money, it's your life because you give hours, you're trading money for time. Okay? So now that you've done that, she can say, you know what, I'm bored, I'm tired of it, and everything else. So now, if a man could waste his prime, not work, be lazy, and do whatever, and the union of marriage guaranteed him assets, what would men do? This is a man's channel. I'm talking to men here. But think about it. If a man could do all, like literally, the script was told to him that you don't have to worry. Just turn up. Some woman's gonna marry you, and you could take her first stuff and still go back to the streets. So the commitment of marriage, if you look at it in light of a man, what would a man do if he was able to just be a fool, bang and pregnant and everything else? And then some woman's gonna be like, hey, you're a treasure, you're a prize. I'm gonna marry you. And then you marry her. After a few years, you get bored with her, you let her go, but you don't leave empty-handed. You leave with some stuff in your hands. You're carrying some things that you never had, and the law is in your favor. So the institution of marriage, I don't believe it's in favor of men anyway, because if men could like literally waste their time, be reckless, and then marry a woman and get some stuff as consolation prizes, you can see why women act a fool. You know what I mean? You can see why women act a fool because back then there was a requirement for virginity. Now I know I'm not saying we should be marrying virgins, but I'm just saying that if your exes are not exes, they're there as present, and you've not done the work to remove them out of the picture. Something I've observed Because I've seen a lot of cheating videos. A friend of mine, he runs a channel about just cheating housewives. Oftentimes, it's the exes that they get with. And why? Because they're in the picture. So the man is risking all that he's built, and for you to be a beautiful woman, you didn't do nothing. You're born with it. Sure, you might buy a little extra things to accentuate that beauty, but most men like natural women anyhow. So, but for you to be beautiful, you're born with it. But for a man to have substance that a woman is able to take, whether it's a company or property, it's because he built that from scratch. That's why men feel the heat more. That's why I don't believe men should get married. I believe the marriage structure as it is, it should be dead. We should kill it instantly. We should shoot it in the head and just kill it because women are coming for the things that men work hard for. Men approach women for the things they were born with. And then because of the things they were born with, they're able to take what men took so many years to build. So if the structure of marriage was in favor of men could do whatever, reckless, be irresponsible, and then he got things from women, women would be protesting against this. What gives him the right? He was just some deadbeat guy. I found him, I married him, and now he takes my stuff. But if it's vice versa as far as women, they accept it because they accept the unreasonableness towards men. And that's the thing that men ought to reject. That women are comfortably backing behaviors that are anti-men. Because if you only love me because of my wealth and when you want to leave, you are nobody. And we know that society, money is everything, really. You can't transact, you can't travel, you can't do nothing. So you are nobody, you are nothing. And then you link up with me and now you have assets and value and you want to take that. And I need to be okay with that. And women support that. Men need to look at that and says, okay, if women are backing that, that means they're not inherently good people. Kudos to the women that don't support that, but the ones that back that ideology of taking for all his worth, taking the cleaners, men should take that text out of the book and just steer it from marriage. It's not ideal. It's not. It's extremely toxic because if men were in that position, women would not like it. Now, women have been doing this for the longest time. It's just now that it's becoming exposed. They expose themselves on social media. So the construct, no, it shouldn't be for any modern man. Every single modern man should abort marriage in its normal structure as it stands. Even if you don't got a whole lot of money, because as men we strive for something. It could be better tomorrow, and she gonna come after that when she made no effort to build herself up. So the way I see it is, now stay away from modern day marriages or modern day unions. Call them that.